A bunch of questions from CLAT237. First question was, he asked, in your opinion, who had the best push after being in the WWE for just 1 year? I think Ultimate Warrior comes to mind, Brock Lesnar comes to mind, but I'll probably say Kurt Angle. I don't think Kurt Angle's push was forced. You know, the fact that he had a gold medal gave him instant credibility, but he caught on as far as wrestling skills, as far as his character goes. Was able just to mix it up and get into storylines and main event guys. I just thought it was beautiful. It was very, very well done, so I'll probably say Kurt Angle. Do you think Cena was the right guy to push in 2005? Yeah, I mean, Cena was definitely the right time. Actually, I expected the push to come a little bit sooner. As soon as Cena started doing the battle rap thing and started the Vanilla Ice thing, I knew Vince McMahon was going to, you know, eventually get behind this guy. So I thought maybe 2004 they would definitely start pushing him hard. I was actually really, really afraid that they were going to push Cena over Benoit heading into WrestleMania 20. You know, they did like #1 contenders matches, you know, to see who would face Brock Lesnar. And I always thought Cena was going to be the guy that they would start pushing and eventually win the Rumble. You know, he was actually on the poster of the Rumble for 2004, but thank God that didn't happen. But yeah, Cena in 2005, I thought the push was justified. My problem with it was the way he won it, the way he beat JBL. JBL was such a dominant champion. And then Cena just comes in there and beats him in 8 minutes. It's like, what the fuck? You know, I kind of feel the exact same way that Doug felt about it, you know, from Bill and Doug. That was pretty much the turning point. You know, people were supposed to be happy that Cena took the belt off of the boring JBL title reign, but yeah, I didn't feel that way. I was like, you know, I kind of wanted JBL to win that match. I kind of wanted a longer match, but you can't blame Cena for that. You can blame Angle and Michaels for going a little bit too long. You know, if WWE was smart, I would have just scrapped the whole friggin' Big Show and Akibono symbol match. Make sure that those guys had enough time, because that was a big match. And who knows, maybe the Cena hate would have been prolonged a little bit. Would not have come as soon if the title one was done right. All right, so next up, Kevin Durant. Yes, Kevin Durant had a breakout year. Do you think he could take his team to the Western Conference Finals? Without a doubt, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder have the best chance of you know, beating the Lakers in the West. I mean, they got Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, a great point guard with a great power forward. It's a deadly combination. They were playing in the FIBA World Championships this summer. I think that's going to help them. You know, they took the Lakers to 6 games. It was not an easy series for the Lakers. They probably gave them the most trouble out of anyone in the West. And yeah, Durant has shown very, very good commitment. He signed back with Oklahoma City. He's doing all the little things. You know, he's showing up to summer leagues. He's you know, I mean, he's doing a lot of promotion for the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. I just think he has a great attitude, and he's improved as well. You know, he's improving every single year. So, yeah, I could definitely see that being the one team that could definitely give the Lakers a run for the money in the Western Conference. All right, so let me try to find the next question. All right, so we continue with the questions from CLOT237. He asked, what do you think of the generation that play now in the NBA? Most guys think about how many points they score instead of how many points they give. I kind of disagree with this. I don't think it's that bad. I think a lot of NBA players have the right mentality, like Chris Paul and you know, Darren Williams. I mean, these aren't like, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say they're money-hungry players or they're selfish players at all. I think the problem is it all depends on coaching. Sometimes if you don't have a coach that you know, if you can't buy into the coach's system, sometimes players just drift off into that mentality, that scorer's mentality of, you know, the more stats I get or the better my stats, the bigger my paycheck's going to be. But if you have a coach like Jerry Sloan or if you have a coach like Phil Jackson, you know, I think those coaches do a great job of letting the players see the big picture, which is, you know, take your team to the playoffs, do the right thing, and then everything will follow suit. All the paychecks and all the endorsements will come if you just win the basketball game, not by trying to score 50 points and lose by 50. Next question is, if Wade Barrett won the title or if Nexus would have won at SummerSlam, do you think they could be booked the same like the same as the BDK in Chikara? You know, BDK is a huge stable in Chikara. They're pretty much like the NWO of Chikara. No, you know, I don't see Nexus being used like the BDK. I just don't think it would have worked. You know, the reason why the BDK works in Chikara, and the reason, I can guarantee you this, and I should have asked the Smart Mark dude at the show, I can guarantee that Chikara's DVD sales are a lot higher since the BDK angle took place. And a lot of it has to do because, you know, Claudio Castagnoli's a big name, but at the same time they have, you know, younger, fresh talent like Pinky Sanchez and Lindsay Dorado, guys like that. And then you get Saturday Ray and Daisy Hayes. I mean, they are familiar faces, and they are, you know, Claudio is pretty much the biggest name in Chikara, so he's pretty much, allowed to run the ship and pretty much, dictate where this stable goes. You can't really do the same thing for Nexus. It would kind of be a mistake to have them take all the titles, main event every pay-per-view, because these guys are still green. They're just not ready yet. They're not like the Claudio Castagnoli of Chikara. You can't really compare, where Barrett is to where Claudio is in Chikara right now. So I would just say that. So that's probably why, from a financial perspective, that's probably why they're not, allowed to. They're not like the Evolution of Raw right now, or they're not like Chikara of Raw. Not Chikara, BDK of Raw. All right, so next question is, if you could go back and see any wrestling event or any NBA game, which game and what event would it be? As far as NBA game, I'll probably say Celtics versus Lakers from '87. I think it was Game 4 of '87. That was just a tremendous rivalry. I'll probably say that. And, of course, a lot of Jordan games come to mind. Probably some of the Jordan versus Knicks games I would love to go back. Or Bulls versus Knicks, I'm sorry. Love to go back and watch those games as they took place. Probably Game 7 from '92 would be my choice. As far as wrestling event, I'm just going to say WrestleMania 17. Me and my brother talked about this. We said, man, how awesome would it have been to see Austin turn heel at WrestleMania 17 and just smash The Rock and take the championship from The Rock. And, not just that match, but the whole card was just amazing. So I'll probably say WrestleMania 17. All right, should they turn Daniel Bryan heel in the future, like he was in ROH in 2006? Not in the immediate future, but if they're going to push Bryan Danielson to be a main event at WrestleMania, that type of guy, I think it does need to happen. I think Danielson is, that's his comfort zone, being the cocky heel, being the best in the world. I think he could really get under a lot of WWE fans' skin with that. Him as a babyface, trying to get everyone in the WWE universe on his side, I think it's kind of unrealistic. But I think he can make a great heel. When Jericho leaves, or now that Jericho's gone, he can pretty much fill in that void now. I don't see Edge really filling the void. I don't see anyone else doing it. I think Daniel Bryan will eventually be that guy. It might take a year, it might take 2 years, but I definitely think it'll come. Next question, another Daniel Bryan question. Daniel Bryan reminds me of Rob Van Dam from 2001, being that he's extremely over. I wouldn't say he was as over as RVD was in 2001. People forget, RVD was friggin' insanely over. Edge even stated on the Canada show, I forget what it's called, Michael Emsberg or whatever his name is. He said that if there was one guy that was going to take Austin's spot as the mega hot baby face, he thought it was going to be RVD. So that's how hot RVD was in 2001. So even though Rob was super over, he didn't win the belt at the time. He didn't win that triple threat match in No Mercy 2001 with Angle and Austin, and that was pretty much the end of that push. So do you think the same thing will happen with Bryan Danielson? Well, no, I don't see Danielson getting the belt right now. I think the U.S. title is where he's going to be for the next year or so. But when he wins the belt, it'll be down the road. I just can't see them giving it to him now. It's just too soon right now. Next up is from Justine3223. What's your favorite shoot interview? My favorite shoot interview of all time is CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. CM Punk and Samoa Joe, straight shooting with CM Punk and Samoa Joe from ROH's straight shooting series. It's very, very entertaining. I advise everyone to try to get a copy of it. It's very, very cheap too. You can probably find it on eBay for really cheap. I also really, really liked Kurt Angle's art video shoot. I love Angle is a great interview every single time. I just love him. I'm very, very entertained by anything Angle says because he's so cocky and so arrogant. He's so much like his character. It's not even funny. And then what else do we have here? I don't know. There's a Shawn Michaels interview on YouTube that was like from '99 or 2000 that I really enjoyed as well. So it's on YouTube. Definitely check it out. I'm not sure who conducted it, but it's there. Who's your top female heel and face of all time? My top female heel of all time is Lacey from Ring of Honor. I think Lacey is beautiful. I mean, she's just awesome. She would be like my type of girl, to go out with. Because she's got a great personality, and she's kind of a bitch, but I can kind of put up with that. But yeah, she's just a great performer. She really carried a lot of the card feuds in Ring of Honor as well. I thought she just made a great heel, especially in the Jimmy Jacobs versus P.T. Whitmer storyline. So, and top female face of all time, probably Trish Stratus. Trish is just freaking awesome. I mean, I'm not a big fan of women's wrestling, but anytime I saw Trish, just mesmerized by her looks, and she was a great wrestler as well. So, your favorite tag team of all time? Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. That's my honest to God answer. I love the Rockers, love the Hart Foundation, but I never got a bigger thrill out of watching a wrestling match than a tag team match than I did with Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Whenever they were in the ring, I just love those tag matches with the Guerreros, with Edge and Rey Mysterio. They were just so awesome. I just wish they could have, that would have been awesome if they did a SmackDown versus Raw, like tag team feud. You could have Angle and Benoit versus Jericho and RVD, and, Angle and Benoit versus Triple H and, Randy Orton. I thought that would have been awesome. So many great things that WWE could have done in 2003 and 2004 that, just didn't happen. Next questions are from Buff Spin Stuff. What do you think of Dragon Gate USA's Jon Moxley? Does he have potential to go far? Yeah, I mean, his wrestling ability is a little bit suspect. He hasn't blown me away in the ring. But, Ring of Honor is definitely lacking in personalities, and this guy definitely has it. Honor Hammer has gone on record saying this guy reminds him of, like, the Joker from The Dark Knight. And I agree with that. He's got a very mysterious personality. He's got a very edgy personality. Ring of Honor needs edgy guys with edgy personalities, and I think he has potential to go far in Dragon Gate USA, without a doubt. I mean, he's leading his own stable. I need to watch more Dragon Gate USA shows. I'm really, really behind now. The last show I saw was Mercury Rising, but yeah, from what I hear, he's leading his own stable. He might be the next Dragon Gate USA champion. Eventually, there's rumors of that happening, so definitely has a lot of potential just based on his personality and look alone. So, Buff's stuffed. He also asked, what are your thoughts on Takeshi Morishima in ROH, and would you like to see him back? Yeah, I would love to see Morishima back. I mean, that would be a wet dream to see Morishima back. However, I haven't seen a lot of recent Morishima matches. I saw the match with Marufuji. I was kind of disappointed. Definitely the weakest Marufuji match that I've seen in recent memory. Looks like he's kind of gained weight. Looks like he's kind of slowed down. But I'm very, very high on his ROH stuff. His run in 2007 was great. I'd say it was one of the greatest Ring of Honor World title reigns to date. He just moved so well. He's just a dominant champion. Great matches. Everything you could ask for. The guy was perfect. I'd probably give him like an A+ as far as, his effort for Ring of Honor in 2007. So, yeah. Next up is from Mr. Undertaker HBK fan. Who is your favorite rapper? I mean, I don't really listen to rap anymore. I don't really keep up with it. In the 90s, I used to buy the Source magazine, buy like every single Blockbuster CD that came out. But my favorite rapper of all time is Tupac, without a doubt. Tupac is just an amazing rapper because he spoke from the heart, and every song had a message involved, even though he kind of had a twisted personality. But Nas is one of my other favorite rappers. I like Common. I like Wu-Tang. I like the Genius from Wu-Tang. I like lyrical rappers. I like guys that have skills and guys that give positive messages. I wasn't that big of a fan of Biggie the older I got. I don't like rap about sex and just goofy things. I like there to be sharp lyricism. Entertainment as well. So I would say that you could be funny from time to time. Biggie was funny. He was very, very entertaining. So, but I'm more into the righteous, political, skillful rappers. Those are the rappers that I really loved. And I'll probably say Nas is my favorite rapper that's still alive right now. So, all right. Next questions are from Age of the Fall 1. He asks, "What do you think of FIP and what's their future?" Not really much of a future. I mean, they really don't have that big of a name right now. I know there are some guys on YouTube like Wrestling Handyman that love FIP, but I just think of it as like kind of a developmental territory or something like that. Just for guys to get warmed up for Ring of Honor. That's kind of what I used to see it as. But there was some great matches in FIP. Eric Stevens and Roderick Strong was great, but I don't know. I haven't been following the company. I know Davey was the FIP champion a couple months ago, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on with them right now. I really can't tell you. If you want to, I say you ask Wrestling Handyman, he'll probably tell you exactly what's going on with them. Next up, yes, do you think Jon Mox can go to ROH in the future? Yeah, I definitely think ROH needs him. I don't see it happening in the immediate future, though. I think, I mean, he's committed to Dragon Gate USA right now, and right now probably wouldn't be the best time to just shoot into the Ring of Honor roster. I'm not sure what Ring of Honor could do with him right now with Jim Cornette. It's just kind of a weird time for him to come into the company, but I think it'll happen eventually. What's your favorite promotion? Ring of Honor, without it. I'm not going to lie to you. Ring of Honor is my favorite promotion, and PWG is closely behind him. But I also find enjoyment out of WWE and TNA as well. Don't get me wrong. I like Chikara, but not as much as Ring of Honor.